Love is the Cure. Journal entry written by Sarah Legend Adeno Fighter, dated Saturday, August 17th, 2024 to Saturday, September 28th, 2024, starting on page 25. Everything in life revolves around love. From the moment that a baby is conceived to the moment that someone's loved one is about to take their last breath of life. It is the circle of life. Without love, without the purest of opportunities to receive love and to give back that pure love in return, one misses out on the most simplest and most innocent and most unconditional foundational building blocks of life. Why is there so much selfishness and self-centered people in this world? Why is there so much hatred and evil in this world? Why are there so many wars raging on in this world? Why is there so much sickness and death in this world? Why are there so many tears of sadness and heartache in this world? Answer: it's because of lack of love. Page 26. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines this simple, innocent, and unconditional purest form of love in noun Section 1, subsection A1 as strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. Example, maternal love for a child. 17-ish years ago, I had attended a church for a few months while I lived with my mom for close to a year of us attending that church, from me being of the ages of 20 and 21 at that time. During that time period, we, aka also known as my mother, and I befriended a young lady who was 1 year younger than me. From the year 2007 until 2022, I had not seen that young lady again until she and her young daughter moved into my apartment building. She and I do not talk to each other much, nor do we interact with each other much due to her and I both having CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, due to a lifetime of physical, emotional, and sexual narcissistic abuse starting from when we were both infants/toddlers due to intergenerational trauma, aka intergenerational abuse. PsychologyToday.com website describes intergenerational trauma as: intergenerational trauma refers to the apparent transmission of trauma between generations of a family. People who experience adverse childhood experiences growing up, or who survived historical disasters or traumas, may pass the effects of those traumas onto their children or grandchildren through their genes. Due to this lady and I both having those similar traumatic abusive experiences, it has caused us to have CPTSD so extremely bad to the point that we find it extremely hard to trust others. Thus, we find it extremely hard to open up to others, to let others in, due to us finding it hard to trust others. Therefore, if I do open up and show my most kept secret vulnerabilities to someone, I do not do it lightly. Anyway, taking that starred tidbit into account, I find it extremely interesting that both this lady and I have been diagnosed with the same chronic, physically debilitating uterus condition called adenomyosis. It is a well-known factor that our bodies store trauma, aka intergenerational trauma. Adenomyosis is a physical condition that affects the uterus, aka the womb. The womb is supposed to be a place that feels love, gives love, and creates love by embracing and creating and protecting new life within it. With all of the previous information listed, my theory is this: due to the fact that there is such a tremendous lack of love in this world, which has resulted in there being so many families and children that are directly or indirectly impacted and therefore are affected by intergenerational trauma, that is the cause of the storage space of love, aka the womb, aka the uterus, getting and developing adenomyosis in girls and young ladies, i.e., I developed it when I was a 14 years old child. Therefore, adenomyosis is the direct byproduct of lack of love. That is my theory. It would probably take a few decades, if not a couple of centuries, to rid the world of its problem of lack of love, and for people on this planet to embrace more love towards both themselves and towards each other. Despite that, I truly believe that love is the cure for adenomyosis. It will take years for humanity to fill in the cracks in this world with love to help both people and this planet to heal itself. However, I believe that once that has been attained, then adenomyosis and other chronic physical conditions / diseases can be healed. Again, this is just my theory. People can or could take away from my theory whatever information I have stated, and they could instead substitute their own knowledge of information that they know of in place of my info. Or, if they want to, people could just label me and call me a conspiracy theorist. It would not be the first time in my life that I have been called a conspiracy theorist. In the end, regardless, the world needs more love. I don't know if this gentleman will ever know it or not. Regardless, there is one gentleman that has inspired me to write this journal entry. Through him being the first man I have ever been with to show me compassion, kindness, empathy, gentleness, understanding, being slow to anger, i.e., not yelling at me or belittling me as if I were just some animal or doormat. Need to have self-love, i.e., not to be so hard on myself, aka self-critical. I love this man with all of my heart and body and soul. I would publicly declare my love and loyalty and dedication of lifelong service to this man without hesitation nor second thoughts if he asked me to. I love you, God, divine creator. Faithfully, yours truly, forever and always, Sarah L.